Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to College Con. We've got a fantastic game ahead here as well. Midway Eagles versus Marshall Thunder and Herd. You know what? I'm looking at the scores and what these teams are kind of settling up towards. It looks like Marshall are having an easy streak here so far, 7-0 so far, but Midway Eagles are 5-2, joined by none other than Hyperactive. But game set, what's going to go down here? We've got a really interesting match for sure in the Southeast Appalachian region.
Yeah, it should be quite interesting. I think the last time we had a close score, like statistical game, it ended up being a wipeout, particularly the ones that I did yesterday where we saw St. Clair go up against Northwood. And that we were expecting it to be one of the closest games of the series, be the matchup of the century, and it ended up being a complete wipe. But every production is saying this should be quite interesting. These two have been lucky enough to find some LAN experience as well, be able to find themselves some victories along the way. So these two should be quite close to each other, theoretically. But as we look to the kind of like the teams themselves and the stats, it does read towards Marshall taking this.
Yeah. It does read that way. You mentioned LAN there. They both met together against each other on LAN, and they both went 1-for-1. So they both know how to do it on LAN, but online's a different scenario. How are these two going to face up? As you can see, their seasonal record so far, 5-2 and 7-0 on the other side of Marshall. But the records, it kind of says they do lose a lot of their maps, whether it's on hard point, S&D, or Overload. Midway are kind of a teeter back and forward between them, whereas Overload, hardpoint for Marshall, not to lose one yet. That's going to be the big standout that we're going to keep an eye on here going into the series. Obviously, starting us off with hardpoint, you feel like, well, Marshall should have the upper hand here in this battle, because if you're 50% record against 100% record, I mean, it doesn't always go against the stats though, so that's never what we can judge this on.
Well, talking of stats, we talk about how the Midway, you know, that 5-2 not looking pretty and a 4-2 on that hard point scoreline. But I do want to bring it back to the West Virginia Mountaineers game they faced off against. That was a 2-3 loss on the side of Midway, but the colossal hard point, 249 to 250 loss. That screams close. Then they went to S&D on raid, 6-4 victory for them. Then they went to Exposure Overload, 2-3. Scar Hardpoint, 250-181, and they lost on Colossus S&D, 1-6. And that was the only wipeout we saw against the West Virginia Mountaineers. And then the Cumberland Phoenix varsity team, that was a little bit stronger, and Midway
that was a DoorDash.
0-3, straight DoorDash, 72-250, 2-6, and 0-7 on that side of things.
Well, heading into the maps and modes that we will be seeing. First off, we're going to see the absolute bang-up map that is Blackheart to kick us off. Then we'll see a double den. If it goes further, though, Hyperactive, we are looking at Scar Hardpoint and a potential Colossus Search and Destroy to close us out in the series. In terms of maps, modes, what we thinking here, looking at the overall stats that we've mentioned there, how they have kind of fared up against each other, or at least their previous maps so far, kind of feel like, yeah, Marshall have got a good map set here for them.
I'm looking straight up map 1 to start off with, and it's quite a surprising pick to come in play when both teams haven't even stepped foot onto Blackheart in the hard point. That, I feel, could lead to one team either really dominating, demonstrating they've been practicing in this latter section of the preseason, then the other team where they may have not been practicing it. Den, strong maps on both sides. When you bring it into an S&D, we are starting to see that Marshalls have played this map twice, while Midway haven't. But again, it's a popular map. I'm not surprised that a little bit surprised we're not seeing at least once being played on for the Search and Destroy. But then both teams have played it. Both teams have won it as well, so that critically is another thing to look out for. But we'll discuss Scar and Colossus if and when we get to it. But we go and load in onto Blackheart, and Mark, big question here. Who's you got your money on?
And you know what? With both of them not playing the map yet so far in College COD, I still have to pick the side of Marshall just based off of their overall hardpoint wins that they have had and managed to pick up yet to be beaten, right? So I mean, a side that you can imagine is going to be relatively strong coming out of here. They have been pretty dominant in their Scar hardpoint, but this is a completely different map. The bang out map could be anybody's game, all down to the battle of the SMGs up close and personal, making sure these rotations are done for these key hills. Money Hill number 2, of course, is a very, very important hill to be gathering early off to get yourself to a very strong start. Midway, who have struggled to get off to a strong start in a few of their maps more recently, but like we said, against a very tough opposition previously. So yeah, we'll see. This could be a really interesting one. I feel like it's going to be close for the first set of rotations. It might start to go one way or the other as the second set of rotations begins, but it's all down to that first hardpoint breakthrough after the reset of the hardpoints. That'll be where it comes down to the key areas, I feel like, for both sides.
If you're going to put a number on it, what's the scoreline looking?
Oof, numbers. I'm going to say a 250 to a 195 to Marshall.
Going high.
Yeah, I'm going to close game. I'm going to get close enough, but not massively close. That's my prediction anyway.
And would we say 3-0 Marshall for the
I'm
series?
I'm saying a 3-1. I feel like Midway's got a map in them at least mid. But you know, you never know. I'm hoping that we're getting more than just the 3 maps. I don't want to see a DoorDash as we have seen previously with Midway. Marshall, they would love to have another DoorDash and actually just show off and just keep that 0. They don't want to lose a map, right? They've not lost one yet. They want to continue to do the same.
Yeah, I wish it'd go further, and even though there has been hype amongst both teams going on LANs, they've taken on tit for tat for each other. LAN and online are 2 different stories. Online, you get a lot more comfort. You don't have that external pressure building up on you, but you do have to deal with internet lag and systems like that. And well, I feel like with the scoreline looking so strong towards Marshall, I think it is going to be a DoorDash. I think it's going to be a 3-0, and quite convincingly, I would even put this map maybe towards that 250, 120 is where I'm looking, so a lot lower. But again, I'm one of those, I'd like to be proved wrong, and everybody in chat, I'd love to see your point of view as well. Put in those predictions, make sure you're rooting for your university / college, and say get the words out about how good they are. But we are still loading in. We are trying to get these guys into the lobby as quickly as we can, and it kind of gives that a bit of anxiety now with this little bit of a wait.
I'm getting nervous more than these guys are getting nervous at this point. This is where we got to keep chapping, and my voice will go before I even get the chance to shout at one of these players' names. As we were discussing names that we have to remember, like our pronunciations might be completely different than the guys over the water to us. Might well be completely different. We might butcher your names, but you know what? You gotta get us off. We're from the UK, right? We don't understand. We don't read your American English. We're English, and you just stole our language, right? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Whatever we say is right. It was our creation. You're all part of our ancestors, right? That's how it all goes down.
Oh damn! He chose the line that I've always wanted to say to Americans, one way or another. Yeah, one of us.
You're from me.
Day, but quickly, as while we have the map in front of us, Blackheart, we've been seeing a little see-through walk around of this map. Let's talk about these key points. You mentioned how P2 a big money hill, but there's also some points that really are hard to lock down, to grasp and take control, and I'd say that's P1 and P3, 2 areas that really are, P1 and P5, difficult areas to control.
100%, definitely. P1 was obviously always, especially from the get-go, the hardest one to kind of settle down in the middle of the map, right? There's so many entrance points, and you just have to kind of like keep watching every single angle. There's only 4 of you, so there's multiple angles that you have to watch. All 4 of these angles, a chance for people to jump the walls, jumping in. It does make for really interesting gunfights, and it's all about the quick twitchiness of your gunfights, right? You could be really reactive really quickly, but you're always going to know there's going to be a second player ready to try and trade you out instantly. P5 could be a very interesting hard point for the most part, but I feel like because it's such a small hard point, like the amount of area in which you're actually covering, it's a very easy one to kind of get lost and stuck if the player's spawning from the back, and if you're not able to hold the spawns and get the right connections, it could be a very difficult overall hard point to hold. But P2, P4, that side seems to be the more favoured side for holding hard points, right? They're the really kind of key hills to hold, a lot of areas to kind of just lock down the full map from the front. So that's where we're looking to kind of hold on to as we do blast us off into map number 1 here on Blackheart. P1 is underway. Let's see where we get to in the start of things. Who's going to start off the strongest here is will be Marshall with that first bit of tick time, but this is what we said, it's an absolute blow. Back and forward the kills go, nobody gathering any time.
Not much time, only a second that Marshall's been able to claim. It's been contested all the way through. But P2, no one's really gained great control until we've got 40 seconds into the match. And finally, Marshall started to show up that they have, first of all, the spawns in this position, and secondly, that they're able to hold this left side of the map.
Yep, thanks exactly. Holding where they need to be here. Asylum on the inside. He's looking for one, gets a lot of tags, doesn't get the next one. Follows and loses the position, and it'll be more kills going their way. But let's look at these rotations now. P2, this crucial hill that you can get into for P2, holding the back spawns. And it's going to be a perfect position here if Midway trying to get their break in here. Come on. We're on board with it. He's going to try and make the opportunity. Gets the break, gets the shot, gets the kill on towards ET, makes his way in. Break is in, but it's all but that's a nice wee peak spot. I've never even noticed that one from Asylum. He's looking for more. Dusk finishes him off though. And the challenge comes in once again, back and forward. Still a crucial close matchup.
Very close, and Marshall locking things down early in the doors as they make a press onto the point. Trying to make sure we got the right colours on the right way around. Yes, it is Marshall able to lock down and early on the gates. Midway though, give credit where credit is due. They are leading the points, and their attacks have been pretty fluid and fast to get into position and to maintain locational control early on.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it is so close. There's 3 points to difference here after our first couple of hills, and as we head to P3, that's a good clean sweep of kills going the way of Midway. They're going to get the early hold, and player number 5 is Asylum. You can see him watching the players on the cross. He gets one, unfortunately. Will move from that position, gives his way his life, and that's a chance for Marshall to go push up that left side, looking for that breaking opportunity. Oh, Quan finds one, looks for the head of 2, finds it, but his teammate will eventually get that break on. Asylum still holding here, Midway looking to double up the lead.
Just for clarity, we are seeing that Midway is white and Marshall are blue. I've just recognized it from the small logo, so if you are a little confused about who's pushing when, where, how, and why, that is what's actually happening. So right now we are seeing Midway on the point, holding position. Marshall having to push onto site, and Orbital will find a little cheeky little double, not a third, to keep things going. And that is a brilliant break, and when it comes to breaking, it has been Marshall all the way. Rotation, all in favor of Midway.
Problem is, they now hold a spawn, but they're only there for a second. As all of a sudden, Midway get back in control of the point. If they can finish the player off in the back, unfortunately can't do that. That is going to be 3 kills going their way. And once again, Midway holding strong in the hard point, getting the final kill is needed as well to make sure they hold them back in the spawners. Looks like a wee bit of a delay there, but there we go. We're back in the action. They're making the rotation round towards P5. Once they're back in that spawn, it's going to be really crucial here, and that's going to be Dusk. He needs to be keeping his lives there, and he does get the kill as well on the walk back towards Orbital, and all of a sudden Midway are holding a very strong lead and a very strong position around the map.
This is a long rotation. You sacrifice so much of the latter points on P4 to get over to P5. We talked about how difficult it is to lock down P5, and immediately a pounce forward, and Marshall have found a way to break and open up the site to their own. Spawns thankfully coming into favor, so they will be able to counter the quick Midway push. Parallax able to find one, can't get there any more from it, as Asylum will double up and say thank you, dear sir.
There you go. Marshall's good break. That's Quan finding a good few kills. He's doing a good job in his orbitals to kind of pick it up a little bit here for Marshall to try and get anything further forward, as we will be looking to head towards P1. This is where I said we've got a 25-point margin so far. Midway Eagles still trying to fight for that remaining scrap time, but also this is putting them back in spawn for an opportunity to try and get into P1 early once again and try and keep that lead that they have and start mounting it as much as possible. Parallax is just trying to go around the back. Yeah, no kind of shots in the back, but Revoke, he's just absolutely went and awoke himself here as he finds two on towards Quan. ET gets the next, and Midway keep that score ticking.
Keep it going. Keep it ticked. And also, you've got to keep Marshall onto the right side of the map. This is where the difficulty lied first time round. Midway were great on the first rotation. They did find beautiful rotations. They were able to move around the map a lot more smoothly, but when it came to breaks, it just was Marshall's game to play, and this is why the scoreline has remained so close. And a free sight onto P1 for scrap time, well, that's going to bring them right into level pegging and almost a coin flip away on who's leading this.
Yeah, as soon as P2 pops, so you've got the couple of kills you need, but you've only got two players back in spawn here, and you finally get that respawn. But player number 3, he's trying to look for more kills. One can't do any more. He's trying to find his fourth. He's going to try and find more ET, and a vote goes down to him. The spawns flip out. Midway Eagles are now going to be down, surely behind for the first time in quite some time here. They do have to get that contest in, but that shut down Asylum. Now, if he can keep it going here, he's trying to find even more kills. Quan still keeping that score going. Orbital started to heat things up as well. He's currently on a 3 streak. Make that a 4 streak, as they will hold for the majority of P2 time. But unfortunately, there's going to be all the back spawns going the way of Midway Eagles, so they'll get that scrap time as the rotation starts to come in towards P3, which could be crucial for Marshall here to start to take a really strong lead.
By the way, that P2, first time we've seen Marshalls take the lead of the match. And I feel it's gone very soon. No, it's a quick, good rotation, and Marshalls stepping up for P2. They've been more confident on those rotations. They've had that map positioning, and they've been looking 3 steps ahead to make sure nobody can get behind them.
Yeah, let's see what we're going to say here from Midway, as they have managed to get their break in. Let's listen in to see what the comms are like for their hold.
Nice! Two more front. Go, Dill, go.
Nice, that's 3.
Absolute action. Ain't that kid on the steps? He's close up on the steps. You're good. I'm nading her in her. They trying at her. Cross the steps.
Get off P1.
Get out. I'll bump you here if I spawn here. Yeah, I got you. Go. Nice.
Name back elbow.
Probably in the back. He's in the back. Out.
One on me. There's two new. One dub.
Dubs in there.
Listen, we're working left. We work
houses. I hear you on the left work. Yep. Wait for this first.
He's still dub.
He could be P2. Sign dub.
One's P2 right now.
I hear you. There's one DP2.
Right, I can kill this guy.
John, he's
stuck right there. Nading the back.
I got fucking got naded. There's one.
You're good. He's still there.
P1.
8 front.
Dubs, Nico.
Jam dubs. All time. One shot.
I hear you. One, back left. Action. Back left elbow.
Heard you. Quan, right side time.
I hear you.
We're still alive. I'm trying to kill him right now.
Gonna be dubs.
I'm weak. One shot. Quan. He's just on your front. I naded the back. Hit the shit. One shot. He's in the left. Hit that. I'll play new. All good. Play new. I've all done it. Yeah, I'm backing up for new. Nice. You want to watch over your front right now?
Here. All good. I'm here.
P3. Watch your P3.
P3.
They're gonna spawn.
Well, Midway Eagles, their comms were on point, but unfortunately they could not find that break, and Marshall took an absolute beating towards them there as well, as they managed to get the 200-7 to 30-point lead that they have accumulated here. P5 will be in control of them as well, and if I was saying anything here from Midway Eagles, I don't know what's happened, but it's started to fall apart from them here. They're not able to get in to mid-map. Everything is getting shut down before they even make their way towards the new hardpoint. And look at the action. 1, 2. Oh, it's not going to be 2 at all. It looked like he could have swept up the whole opportunity. Paralysis is down. Quan still holding his line. ET, though, he's going to gun him down looking for that break. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. At 232 to 181, the hold is so strong. That's 2 back-to-back hardpoints. Almost a full 60 coming in from the Piper.
That's huge. Big points, creating that lead, and now it's only a matter of 10 seconds on point. That will come so quickly for Marshall, but we are going back to yet another rotation. As well as the rotation, how about Orbitals rotating to your back and saying thank you, dear sir? And that's the opening and they need. Only 7 to go, 5 to go. Clock starts ticking down. There has to be one last push to jump in immediately. Evoke gets onto point. Dust gets onto point to try and keep the overtime going. 3 points are needed for Marshall to call it their game. Right now, they're spawned out, and they're well away from P2 as well.
There's still an opportunity though. 3 seconds is not an easy task to kind of stop them on ET. You're going to hear that Hellstorm. Marble has got the opportunity to shut it down. Goes and puts that in. Finds one at least on towards Asylum. It is a contested hardpoint. These kills from Orbitals could be crucial. And that is the 2 seconds needed to take the W. Marshall taking map number 1, and a very close one in the end. It definitely looked like it could have been either team at some point, but the last P4, P5 rotations that went out there before that news at hardpoint is just so crucial for Marshall to take a massive lead and go on to take the W.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of points that both teams made a critical mistakes in their rotations, in the way they were holding, some little solo plays that, yeah, played off well, but then backfired later on. There's a lot of up and downs, much like the graph we see in front of us. I will stand mistaken. Marshall did start off the game leading onto the first point, and then it was a dominant possession from Midway until we got to that second rotation where that game completely flipped. And then Marshall's coming back at the very end and says, thank you very much, dear sir. We'll get it done and dusted from P3 onwards.
Yeah. DP on what 10 points to manage to get for the next 2 hard points. That's how difference it was that Marshall's just took a strong lead. Looking back at these highlights, there's a lot of different things that could have went the other side here. Midway Eagles, they started strong. They were looking to build a good lead, and it all just fell apart. Eventually, Orbitals, once he started heating up, it made a difference as well, because then Marshall started to get the guns flowing, and their holds were just super critical on P4. I feel like that was the turning point for Marshalls in the end to go on and just dominate the remaining time on that hard point. It's a fantastic lead, and like we said, not only so far, still only dropped 1 map here, have Marshalls so far in this whole College 26. They'll be wanting to keep that as the scoreline the whole way through, heading in to our next map, which will be a search and destroy on none other than Den. We're going to see a double of that as well, so that'll be interesting to see how these teams fare going into it with the way that they started off. And Midway Eagles were in that game for sure. They could have won that one. That could have been a nice map to start us off with for them. Unfortunately, not to be the case though, as we will be looking to see them going down by 1. And I was close with the prediction. It was a few bits out, but 250 to 210. I was saying 250 to 195, so I'm not far off. I'll take that as a decent prediction to kick us off in game number 1.
Yeah, definitely better than my 250 120 that I was putting forward. So yeah, hats off to you. If you're a betting man and you're absolutely backing Mark's corner, you definitely did the job. But I want to quickly talk about the listening very briefly. Those comms were on point for Midway. They were exactly what I wanted to hear, what I expected when it came to communication amongst teams. If that's the level of talk we're going to be hearing throughout this series, I would not be surprised if we get a close game for the rest of it. Going into the next 2 dens, that's the level of talk. The clear, he's over here. Make sure you're covering this angle. I've got this channel covered. Beautiful. That's what I want to hear.
Exactly, as we head into Search and Destroy here on Den. Both times we'll want to get this one in the bag as well. That's going to be the first nade kill going the way of Asylum. Taking down Action, and he flies off the map. It's map control as well. The Midway Eagles here as they get the chance to get that bomb down towards B, but unfortunately Quan is going to be found out in the back towards Dojo. So you're going to have 2v2 down towards the bomb site.
Difficult post-plant position. A big wall stands in your way. One good name will give you a lot of information, and maybe a kill instead. Thank you very much, he says. The trade will go through. Now the quick push from Quan will come about. Won't be successful. Down to that critical 1v1 of Dusk versus Paralysis. Paralysis gets the first engagement. Can't get any of the shots to land, but Quinn says, thank you, dear sir. Midway takes round 1.
Almost found the 2 kills to take that there, but unfortunately I can never say paralysis. There we go. Paralysis. There we go. I'll find it. It's just a bit of a tongue twister for a Scotsman at 12 o'clock at night, or 1 o'clock in the morning, should we say? But there we go. A fantastic round 1 for Midway Eagles. There, Dusk finding free in that fade there from himself, and the first kick us off. We want to keep that going, hopefully build towards some streaks here. Very difficult to do here on S&D, but I mean, you start somewhere and Dusk is going to look down towards the open, over towards the hedges, and he does find that first blood. He's going to find an opportunity to orbitals as well. He does get some tags, can't get the kill though, but expecting the chow. Coming from the rooftops. Gunned out though, and versus shut down. Paralysis, he'll find a kill. It's that trade and makes it a 3 versus 3.
Great opening. Be patient, allow the players to walk into those sight lines, and life just becomes a little bit easier. But the hesitation from Marshall. They know that players are stacked towards that A site. So you try and position yourself to keep throwing shoulders, throw some information towards A and make that rotation, but it's been read like a book. Midway Eagles, they're already over at B.
Yeah, he's trying to look for his black belt here as he shoots through the wall, trying to use his vision and predictability. See if he's wise on his point. Orbital is out, finds Asylum. They've got the man advantage now. More tags through the wall. Orbital finally gets traded out there from ET, so it's a 2v2, but with that bomb down, you've still got the pressure on Midway Eagles.
Information will become helpful. Little tag from Action. Able to get 1. Paralysis able to help out, get the job done instead. 2v1, not gonna happen. Marshall's able to respond back. But at what cost? That felt like it took longer than they wanted. It felt stretched. And definitely not easy.
Yep. Paralysis on a free streak here as well. In a round, we're definitely playing for the trades eventually once he got that first. All of a sudden, in a 2v1 scenario, you're just calling out, you're getting the opportunity to get the trade out and get the kills, get the damage done from both sides. So if you're in that 1v2 situation, you don't know where to look because you're getting shot at from both angles. Difficult task nonetheless, but 1 apiece going into round number 3. A good coverage across the map here from Marshall. B is fully opened up for the chance to get that bomb down. It looks like Marshall looks to give them the opportunity to get that bomb down. And they look to go for that retake opportunity, Marshalls. Now, it's all about positioning. Why, as you can see, Orbital's crossed there. Dust spots him out. Action gets the first blood. Orbital's finds another all of a sudden. They're getting that bomb down, and it's not there. It's literally sitting beside the site. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get the chance to get that anytime soon.
No, that's so open and so hard to get to, and he'll be punished. Marshalls gets the round done and dusted, and it was hesitations off the start, and that's the right thing to do when you go onto a site when you're Midway. Understand the understand your site, understand the situation. Is it clear to plant? But you called it out, Mark. Those legs were out. It was a horrible plant, and in doing so, you're going to get punished from a different angle.
Yep. You come wrap around and you find an opportunity. Paralysis is on a 4 streak now. I haven't won so far. Looking strong, our marshals in the round so far, but an attacking round. They want to go this way. They want to try and break that serve, so to speak, because that is what will swing it around. But unfortunately, it is a sniper from Asylum that opens up the blood, and it's all of a sudden to Paralysis. But Orbitos is aggressive through the smoke. He's looking for one. He finds one and looks for the second. Gets Evoke. Orbitos, all of a sudden, it's a nice wee peak spot once again. He's found plenty on the last couple of maps. We have this Marshall side. He will get that bomb down. Unfortunately, Dusk's there watching and waiting. Perfect timing.
Again, bomb in a difficult position. Is recoverable. Quick tap, and there you go. We do see that Marshals have the bomb once again, but they need to clear mid. If Dusk remains in that mid position, he'll be able to spot rotations, spot and give away a lot of information, and then that will allow ET to rotate off it, and this is a fake. Try and force the rotation to come through, force that knowledge to go back, and this has slightly worked. They are going to get away with it, and that's a free open site to plant. Brilliant work. 45 seconds left, and Midway bamboozled.
Yep, now you just got to think about which angles you're looking at. 2v2 scenario. Number 4, though, you're going to see Das looking over from that mid statue. Dojo, ET is waiting. He's got spots onto Quan. His teammate is going to be getting some tags up as well and getting shots off towards the mid-map, but time going against you. Kills going against you. Marshall take the lead by 2. They break the serve.
Wow, I love that. I absolutely love the way they got onto site. That is just textbook faking. Push far enough. I believe there was a possible shoulder that was thrown out, because if you can create a little bit of a sight line that does go through from that gen position all the way across to where Dubs would be, they positioned themselves enough that shoulder was thrown. That forces in the rotation to come through, and a slow one with ET, who was practically in the perfect place at Dojo. Just slowly bring yourself across, because if nothing's happening at B, you're gonna go A. So, simple but effective.
Action did get some tag with that nade over the top, but unfortunately, nobody's going to be down that side. Benwigo's checking it across the rooftops, heading towards this A site. Quan does get information. No, inside lobby. They're going to then rotate themselves on that defense. Problem is, you've got a long wrap around, or you have to go all the way back through your own spawn. Orbitos wins that inside. He wins a second. How has he done that? Orbitos. He's finding 2 pieces after 2 pieces, but now it's a 3 versus 2. Midway goes. Still yet to get that bomb down. Managed to equal it up. Oh, they've got the advantage, and now you need Orbitos to get the ace. Got one. Gonna find a second. No, he doesn't. He's already shot out, and Midway Eagles will get one back.
Oh, Orbitals, you're disgusting, but I love it when I watch it. Time and time again, he's been able to find doubles, triples, and just solo the entire lobby from quick, responsive actions and not being afraid to jump into sites. And I think that's what Midway are not expecting at times, is the fact that Orbitals is not afraid to just jump in, get into your face, and get the job done.
Double positive because of them double kills that he's been getting in the last couple of rounds. Looking this time, Midway push coming up from Marshall, changing things up a little bit here. But there's a massive split here from Midway because they got all 3 players back in their spawn, but the others making the wrap around. Evoke going the full distance round. Now we've lost their teammate ET as he goes down towards action. Now you're going to be relying on that wrap around, and hopefully that pays off. Surely spots that player in mid.
Gotta have got that player, but look at this. Again, this is just timing this time. This wasn't anything that Marshals did. Bombs down, and Midway, well, they are able to capitalize on a wrong decision to rotate north. They are able to find themselves go down to the south. That's another comeback. Orbitals finishes it up, and he will get dropped as well.
Yeah, I was about to say it can't be over yet. Orbitals is still alive, but unfortunately Quan goes down in that trade battle, and it was all of a sudden all down to Orbitals in a 1v2 scenario. Very difficult to deal with. You could get one but not get the other. Midway Eagles tie it back up. A very close matchup of S&D now after what looked like a trade changing back and forward with Marshalls finding the lead by 2. They are now equaled up as a couple of rounds go the way of Midway Eagles. This could change how the momentum shifts in the rounds as an attacking round now for Midway Eagles. They're heading full rooftop side over towards the A. It's going to be information gathered. Analysis has found the first. Spots the second and the third and the fourth, but there's Dusk going to be able to trade him out. He knows they're all there, but he couldn't capitalize on the tags that he got.
Quick rotation out. Midway not wanting to take the fight any further. They know the entire squad of Marshals will be there waiting for more. But this is smart from Marshals, spreading themselves out because there's still that level of uncertainty. They need a positive spot. Quinn gets it, and the rotation is called. So from one battle to another, it looks to be another collapse onto the B site.
Yeah, he's been a very favoured one. Trades go back and forward. Orbital is finally taken down by Asylum. Now we've got Quan in action, trying to hold off this defense. No bomb down yet, so still advantage towards Marshall. It's going to be a pressure for Midway to try and get that bomb planted as they do push forward. That statue player action surely is going to get sightline over towards the bomb. Or has he waited too long? He has. He's waited too long for that peak to even notice, and all of a sudden bomb's gone down and his teammate's gone down.
Double chow into the dojo. Gonna make this really hard for action, but if there's anything that can come from it, this wraparound may be perfect. Just has to time it right as the shots land. Don't do too much damage. And Midway saved by a wall to get another round on the board.
That's a fantastic set of remaps rounds in a row there for them. They're finding a rhythm and they're starting to find what's working so far, as they are wanting to take a map away from this strong Marshall side. And this is the way to do it, and then bring it back from being 2-0 down, two rounds down, sorry, to being a round in front with momentum surely shifting your way. Asylum and Dusk currently on streaks. All players finding kills where need be and managing to do the job. Looking down this site once again, it's going to be a strong, fast B push here as we're trying to get as much coverage as possible. The smoke goes down, trophy system's down, a chance to get the bomb down early as well and put the pressure back on towards Midway Eagles. A change of pace which might change the rhythm for the Marshall side.
Bomb's still not down, and the entirety of Marshall's backed off early before we thought the bomb was going to get planted, and this is going to be dangerous because if you look at Asylum, pushed quite far forward, and COD timing again. I think this is the third time Midway have been caught with an opportunity to get some free kills, but then rotated off it. You can't write this.
Spot from Asylum. McCready, he's going to find it too. And that is the bomb carrier, wrapped away all the way around from what was looking like a really early B push to get that bomb down. You've lost the bomb, you've lost 2 players, and now Midway looking to take this to map point. All about timing here. Dusk gets caught timing indeed. He slides one, finds the other, his teammate, and Midway Eagles take it to map point, and that is 4 rounds back to back. It's looking good.
Confidence is flowing through them. Also to point out, this lucky spray transfer kill from Dusk, phenomenal. How you get away with kills like that is, I need to borrow his controller at some point. But a 6 streak for Asylum, something we've not pointed out. He's just shy, and I say just shy of a Hellstorm.
There's a wee nudge on a wee bit of tag or a wee bit of information with a nade that potentially get that. So you're having opportunities once again. B, early push, and this time, Midway, surely you should have put that bomb down already. You've had all the time in the world, but you've relied on waiting once again, giving Marshalls a chance to get set up in this defense. 3 versus 3 as the players watching the back, and there's a chance for it to be shut down. Quan finding Evoke. Opportunity for the defense to hold out strong once again, and that's the bomb carrier pushed up too far.
Yeah, bomb. I've always been a person who hates the bomb carrier who goes and presses forward. Paralysis finds 2, says thank you, sir. Asylum will get a trade for orbitals at the other side of the map. Bomb has finally been picked up. 26 seconds left on the clock, and that bomb needs to go down. And B is the only option. There's absolutely no escaping. And even if a rotation comes through, it wouldn't be with enough time. So kills are the only way in Asylum. Cheeky Rap will finally fall. Marshall's still in this game, 5-4.
Still in this game, that's the 5-3 curse. Is this coming back to bite them? Action, it was watching over mid, and he got the good timing. Paralysis almost done it himself though. He got hopped up and stayed alive somehow in that position. But there we go. It is another chance. Match point still here for the side of Midway Eagles. They'll want to clutch this up now. They don't want to be taking this to the risky round number 11. But I'm sure Marshalls will be hoping that that is their case. They're looking to try and take this till round 11, even to try and take the overall map. The defense has been so strong down this A site. Quan, first blood. He finds a second there. Paralysis is traded in the middle. But all of a sudden, it is a 2 versus 3. Midway, make that none. All done. Marshalls have tied up. We're going to round 11.
That's the first time an A push has been successful. It's been failure upon failure upon failure. Just from the angles you can hold to keep yourselves alive, the fact you can hide behind the bomb and use that as extra cover. No matter what, the aggressive A push finally works, and we're here. 4 lives to give, 4 lives to take. It's round 11 on Search and Destroy.
He's got the ice and he's got the nerve here for the round 11. Going to be an attacking run for Midway Eagles. They've struggled to go down this B site a lot of the times here where Marshalls managed to get that first blood. Will that be crucial as you hear that hellstorm coming in? Everybody's going to have to flock indoors. I knew that was coming from Asylum. This could be the turning point. Actually can't win the gunfight there. Dusk takes the first blood. And all of a sudden, Marshall now keeping themselves alive. The full wraparound surely is about to happen here as Midway Eagles search that towards the A site. He's player number 1, Asylum. He's pushed right through the spawn, right through A, and has cleared every single lane. He knows that, for example, that is going to be an opportunity to put that bomb down, give themselves the advantage. Quan's found, and all of a sudden, Marshall's in a 2v4, and it's going to be a retake scenario.
It's going to be difficult. Asylum's playing deep inside of spawn. This is going to play a lot of time. This is going to help his team massively as it's only down to Paralysis. 1v3. A dream scenario if he can get it. But he has to jump around the corner and find ET and Evoke waiting for them. Midway Eagles tie it up. And we unlock another map. Round 4 is guaranteed. This is far from over.
We will be going to a Scar hardpoint soon enough, following the overload. But what a way to do it for Midway Eagles. They look in fine form. They had a rhythm of maps in a row, 4 in a row to say the least. And most of the rounds going to kills, only one being the defuse throughout this whole set of 11 rounds. But Midway Eagles, they had the ice eventually to close it on out. I felt like Marshall had a wee bit of a comeback. Could have done it, but as soon as that first blood went against them, they were left panicking in the end, and Midway Eagles secured full wrap toward that A site and knocked that bomb down, putting even more pressure on Marshall's under Nerd. Fantastic broad series, more 4 maps guaranteed indeed. Finally, I'm not seeing a door dash, and we're getting to see the scores on the doors here. Orbos went big for Marshalls. but it's the players like Dusk and Asylum. Massive. 10 non-traded kills from Asylum, hence the reason he earned the right to have that Hellstorm missile, which gave them an opportunity to push Marshall back in their defense, give them some more map control in that final round. Anything else you want to say, Hyper, about how well executed that was done?
I think you summed it up quite well. I think that, again, another tit-for-tat style of game where both sides have demonstrated a level of understanding towards how each other plays, and the counters are there to prevent it. And I feel for Midway, from multiple occasions, timing is just not in their favor. COD timing plagues them, but somehow they still are able to capitalize on the situation. They're able to come back and take those wins. So I'm not disappointed, but I'm sure there are opportunities that Midway could have 1000% closed this out a lot earlier.
Yeah, there's a few opportunities where you pushed up quite quickly over towards that B site. You felt like there was a chance to put a bomb down with lots of time still to spare. Fortunately, they just delayed their push towards it, even though they've got the control of the map. Decided, you know what, we're not going to go for the bomb plant yet. We'll wait. We'll see if we can find a first pick, and then eventually trades go back and forward. Hence the reason it was only down to 1 defuse in the end over these 11 rounds here, because it was mostly done and dealt with by killing off the opposition to win the rounds. And kills like this from Dusk here, the turn and burns, the paralysis going big, but just not enough to carry the side to victory. And unfortunately, left in a 1v3 at the end is almost impossible in that scenario when you know it's all against you with time-wise, with that bomb down. You go back to Deno for an overload, a completely different game mode, a new respawn, and a new chance for Marshalls here to see how good they play on a strong map like Den for Overlord, where both teams, they've played it, they both have an idea about it, but you know what, they've only played it once and they both won once, so could be anybody's game.
It really can be anyone's game, and particularly with Den, from the last time I've seen Den Overload, it is a lot faster pace. We're seeing a lot of a high scoring game across, not even just onto the CCL, we're seeing it on the CDL as well. We're seeing it with challenges that Den Overload is easier to score. Create the pinch down south, and if you get an opening that takes out 1 or 2 people, bang, you've got the easy access into security or lockers depending on which side you're on. But then you do have that alternative route where you can go north and take that open risk and go for your A-B accordingly, up by tree and up by dish on Den. So there are opportunities to get a high scoring game. Oh, you know what, I think it's going to be a nice strong 8-5.
8-7. I was going to say that's going to be a massive score, and if we get that, that's one thing I've not seen
I don't,
very much on Overlord. I feel like if 1-6 team has a really, there's an opportunity to keep going back to back. The problem is very difficult with the rooftop side of things, because there is only one way really to go and get that in from top. But you know what, if you like the first one, once you get off from the first EMP spawning, that's the opportunity now to then tie it back to back. If you can position yourself well enough with the second EMP, you then just delay the time potentially to get the wraparound towards the top side. You can go back to back from second to third EMP and find 2 back to back as quickly as you like. It's all about the map control though. If you can pin them back and get a few kills early on, that's a chance to really 2 quick scores and put it back to mid, which definitely changes the flow of the game. Obviously only needs 4 before the half, so you get 2 back to back quickly, you put your team under pressure.
Yeah, it's so easy to do. I say so easy to do. I think if me and you,
I can't do it, but
yeah, me and you try it, it's not going to happen at all. But for these guys, yeah, piece of piss. They've got it locked and done. But there's a lot, of course. We always say it's a very strategical style of game. I spoke about how that southern side is so important and how it creates that pathways. But we do forget that mid control is also a valuable area to lock down, and in particular when you are trying to make that push, it's so easy to either come through connector if you're going through the southern pathway, go through connector and then just attack from the rear. Vice versa, if you need to quickly get back to point, going back through lab, lobby, whichever way direction you're spawning or going, then gets you back into the positions of where lockers, streets are located, and bang, you've got that reinforcements to deny the plant coming in and the score to come through. So mid control is going to be another big fight that we start to see.
Yeah, I also know how many teams have been doing the whole park bus scenario on this map where you get a good lead, you put back towards us, especially if you're on the right side spawn, you go back towards the pillars, you just be like, right, we're just going to hold back here, we're just going to let everybody come towards us, just get the kills, hold the EMP, and just let time go, do its job. But will we see that? Will we see a team managing to get a decent enough lead to even think about doing such a thing? We'll wait to see as we load in to Den Overload. It's one apiece, it is everything to play for here. Obviously you want to be the one back-to-back rounds here. If you're Midway, you want to put pressure on that Marshall side, who's a very strong side. This is their second map they've only lost here now, and now you'll be wanting to try and make it the third. If you're Midway Eagles, can you soar your way to victory in the series? You have to start it here, and by doing this and putting the pressure on, going into another respawn, back-to-back respawns could work in your favor if you get the first one.
Yeah, very easily back-to-back respawns, and very easily you can just put one after the other and create that momentum. We've seen it before, and I would not be surprised if we do see some similar situations. But you look back at some of these previous overloads that have come through. For the Marshals, 8-0, 3-2, 8-0, 8-1, 8-0. The numbers are high. There's only been a few times that we've seen Marshals really get challenged, and then you go to the Midway. Well, we can't really fully speak because of course there has been a loss for them against Cumberland Phoenix where they went 0-6, and then when it came to West Virginia Mountaineers, 2-3 on exposure. Otherwise strong 8-1s and 8-0s on the Midway side. So Midway are the ones that by numbers alone should lose this.
Yep.
But not from what we've seen today.
Well, yeah, definitely not about how the performances have been from Midway. They've looked a lot better and more melodic as they've managed to pull that S&D, which I felt like was well and truly going to be a Marshall round. That is definitely one to notch off that bedpost here as they look to try and do it again in an overload. They're strong, like you said, but they have lost a couple. But nobody has really the experience enough to know on then how well they can play under overload. It's only one apiece on this map, so you've only played it once against each other. Well, you've not played it against each other, you might have played against each other on LAN. I'm not entirely sure what their map set were previously at LAN, but this one could be an interesting one for sure, just like that hard point was, but nobody had the experience whatsoever on Blackheart, and it was so close for so long.
Well, we are waiting for the players to just get into the lobby, and of no surprise, any COD player is slow as usual. We've got a little bit of time before we get in and quickly recap from the previous games. A 210 to 250 on the hard point, and then a round 11 game will definitely open things up. Wow, Evoke! A double to get it going.
Yep, and you can have that EMP as straight as you like. You can try to head that first for that first EMP. You've got control over the base side. You've got the chance to slide on in, and you get that first detonation. Midway Eagles starting off within the first matter of seconds and getting that first EMP uploaded already, but Paralysis has got two of his own as they look to try and get that second EMP spawn up through center. You've got the opportunity to try and get the kills through mid here as well, as Paralysis is looking for more. He's 3 in a row. He's going around to wrap around the back and put pressure on the Midway Eagles squad.
Yeah, you got to put some pressure, create those opening, make it easier for their team to push through those channels. and deny any reinforcements. And in the background, Paralysis is still doing his job. He is still able to find those odd 1 or 2 kills to create the opening. But now the EMP picked up by Midway and an open channel to A. Well, semi-open channel, because Orbitals is in the way. An opportunity presented itself, but as I speak, time closes. Well, time is relative to some as Dusk detonates 2-0.
What are we seeing here? Midway already to the good here against this Marshall side, but they've got coverage over towards the roof. They're going to get a chance to kind of get one quickly back answered if they can, but fortunately, action goes down. Arbos follows, and now you've got one player with the EMP alone. Quan does deal with one, but unfortunately, nobody around him, so he'll fall. And all of a sudden, Midway are getting full control into the spawn towards that B site once again. It's going to be Asylum wrapping around. He's already 11 and 3. You need to stop this player in your spawn. He's going to be there. He's going to find the opportunity to find one. Turns the wrong way for a second, but he snaps on action, and he'll shut him down. 3 up already. And now, it is looking like they know how to play Overload.
Asylum is the biggest wingman going. Like, this is the type of guy that you would bring to a date, and you're guaranteed that he's not the one hooking up, but at least he is hooking up, but he's got your friend hooking up as well. That's the type of guy you want, and he is doing a fantastic job. 13 and 4 as well in the back, getting it done, and then doing so, creating these opportunities left, right, and center. Look how deep he is onto this A site, and he's gonna find another double. Oh, put the shots in because I want some tequila, baby.
He's doing a great job. Unfortunately, Arbos found 2 of his own. First of all, he opened up the opportunity and gets the detonation over, so he makes it by 1.
Baby!
Asylum is on a 6 spree, a double with a nade, and he's in your back spawn. There's a chance to close this half early. All down to player number 3 of Volk. Finds that kill, gets the EMP, everybody's dead. Guess what? Midway are going to seal it. Halfway mark already with still 1 minute and 49 seconds on the clock. It's 4-1.
Oh, no, no, no. We did not just witness a slaughterhouse. Open up the blender, set it to max.
How many did he end on?
I think he was on a 9 spree the last time we saw. And he was just milking them. Farming in every single way.
Disgusting. It is. That is exactly that. Disgusting. 9 streak. Yeah, you're right. 22 and 4 to kick us off in the first half of Overload. They're 4-1 up. Marshall are just not off to the races yet in this Overload. Will the side change make a difference here as we head into the second half? Asylum, he's made it 10 in a row. He's not slowing down.
It's a 5.5 streak right now. That is what he's on. Is there any way of stopping Asylum? That's the only perspective we need. As finally he will fall at 11. The job is done as Action will find a double and get something on the board for Marshalls.
Finally shut him down, Asylum, and now you get a chance to get pushed up towards the safe site. The kill is done. The Overload surely goes in. Yes, it does. Quan. He's going to push up right through the back spawn. They want to find the next kill to try and relay this as quickly as they possibly can, but Quan can't stay alive. They can find the kills toward Dojo, though. It's going to be Action having to push up. Asylum kills his teammate. That's unfortunate here as well, but he'll answer back by finding orbitals. Can he find more? Asylum's keeping things going.
Tell you what, Marshall may have got one on the board, but immediately Midway stepping back up, understanding what they need to do, but the doors just opened up, and is this another opportunity for another cheeky detonation? Gets close! Detonation done, it's 4-3, and it seems to be you do not want to be spawning from the right. You want to be spawning from the left and attacking into the dojo and running those channels.
Yeah, a great job here as Marshall is trying to bring this back. They're getting the kills needed. Orbos, Paralysis, finding kills. Hold down to one in the back, and he's shut down. Paralysis looking for the upload. It's 4-4. It's tied up, and it did not look like that was going to be the case. It's definitely a turn inside here. The tides have definitely swung in Marshall's favour into the second half, but you just need Asylum to go on a big, massive spree once again, and before you know it, it could be Midway Eagles taking the lead back. Evoke's sitting around waiting for the players to push on out. He's there, he gets the kill. Dusk. It's going to be Asylum shutting down the map with this Hellstorm missile. Going to give them a chance to get some more coverage across the map. Got to get the call-outs as early as possible there so they can start getting the opportunity to get that EMP, but unfortunately, nobody's headed towards it, and Marshals keep everybody alive.
Hellstorm may not hit anybody, but the useful information will massively help Midway. Finally, EMP back into Midway's hands. A great push down south will create an opening up to the northern side. It make it 5-4. Midway able to get a detonation and bring themselves back to the lead. Open opportunity, gotta take it.
This is the change from top to bottom here now as they're looking for the second. You've seen them transfer that from the A side. Now they had to go and try and wrap round towards the B side. Midway looking to get some control and dominance in the gunfights, but it's trade battle back and forward. It's a 1v1 scenario now over the EMP, and Quan wins it. He turns, he's found his 5th. Now he can push up into the spawn of Midway Eagles. Fortunately, pistol out, doesn't win that gunfight. Once again, it will be petered out a little bit as we look to try and get coverage over towards the rock side.
Midway was shaken on the start of the second half. Now they found their rhythm, they found the defensive positions they need to be in. It's, again, coming back to strength, but EMP getting close to the end, and the spray down the hallway. Don't let go of the right trigger. It will work eventually.
Could be a relay as well, though. They've got quite coverage over the open. And now one goes down, trade for trade, though, and it goes the way of Midway Eagles. This trade battle, the one fights, is not going to work out. It's going to be a peter out in the middle. So we're looking towards the outer roof side, and if it keeps going trade for trade, nobody's going to get control of this EMP anytime soon. There's 2 players fighting over it. He gets 1-for-1 once again, but Evoke, he's found the 2. Is that the opening in the back? No, he's shut down as well, and all of a sudden is back to square one.
35 seconds left on the clock. This clock runs to 0. We will go to an S&D style end.
That's just playing
Overload.
It clever though. He's picking the EMP, but do you want to have the EMP in hand when the timer goes to 0? That is the question. That's the hard part. Or are you just looking to try and close it off here? Your teammate Evoke goes down, pushed up very far up towards his B site. Timing going against you. You lose the EMP here. You lose the fight. You lose the numbers going into the second half. Into that overload. Overtime.
Overtime we go. It becomes an S&D game, but look at where that EMP is. So close to being done for Midway's side.
No
more respawns.
It's the reset. The reset of the EMPs went up north. Who's going to be the first to get there? Who's going to even think about EMP? Or are they just looking for the kills here? Are they playing the S&D right? Or is Orbital's going to try and catch some napping in the mid-map, push himself up towards the outer roof, try and get him some good sightlines if you possibly can. Nobody willing to give it an edge, but you know what? If I was Orbital's, you stay there. No, you stay there. Yes, you win the gunfight, that's fine. Take that, I'll take that any day. Now you push yourself up, you get a chance to get an EMP, and you take the EMP away home. You go back, you're 4v3. It goes down to timing.
That was a fight you didn't want to lose.
Nope.
Down a man. You don't have the reinforcements to come through. EMP's just waiting to be picked up. Orbital's got a little bit of information with his tactical. The flash landing. Not going to force anything too much. Quan able to get a bit more of information as Evoke will reveal himself.
This is Marshall's game to win this one. This is Marshall's game to win. He drops back. He thinks, right, do we get the EMP? Remember, if you're holding EMP, even if it's even, you still win. But Quan wins a gunfight on towards Dusk. Marshals are now well and truly winning this one. And they take the round in the overtime. Fantastic. Close match once again. 6-5. Just like the S&D, but unfortunately Overload going the way this time of Marshals. 2-1 up. And this is stopped Midway's push. Their opportunity to win this.
This has gotten epically close, and I will say epically close.
Tale of two halves, I'd say. That was definitely a tale of two halves. Second half,
Oh, I agree.
definitely went the way of Marshall. And first half, very dominant from Midway, and unfortunately they just couldn't close it out. That was a situation where you just needed one more EMP in that second half. It might have just been like, right, take that ball, put it back in the spawn, and just hold your own. But they didn't. They lost so many back to back and just started making a few mistakes. And the Marshalls capitalized.
There were a lot of opportunities of mid-control that I feel Marshalls didn't capitalize on that second half. And it wasn't even like Midway was contesting for mid-control. They weren't going and trying to present themselves from a mid-push to go through servers and wrap round to be that way, which we saw early on from what Midway did off the bat. They decided, you know what, we got control lab, we're pushed further up beyond red, let's quickly go through servers, up through guns, go over to the back of P4, bang, you hit the B site from there. That's what I loved from the get-go, because it was something different. And then they played standard positions, getting that B control opened up, and then lockers as well being an easy attack as on that side of things. But that mid position for the second half, Midway didn't want any Marshalls didn't want any piece of it.
No.
They were happy, they were satisfied. So why would you go and fight a position you don't want?
Exactly. You don't want to push something that's not working out for you whatsoever. But now that that's over with, Midway need to forget about what just happened there, because they'll be maybe full tilt thinking, what have we just thrown away? And we started off so strong. All of a sudden, we're in. Going to see the highlights back with their lobby restarts. But Asylum, I was looking at that there as well. Like, he must have got like 35 kills and 28 of them non-traded kills. He was just up close. He was finding the kills. He was just doing everything he needed to do. But Midway in that second half just didn't use him to his fullest. Eventually, when they had the opportunities, he even shooting bodies there. And that's the overcockiness that he got to. Unfortunately, it came to bite him in the backside.
Yeah, this is just a highlight reel just for Asylum. If I ever need a reel to say how good I am, that's the one I'm playing. That's the one I'm showing and be like, yo, this was collegiate level that I was playing. This was supposed to be a close game. We lost it, but hey, I still did an 11 spree. Easy as. To say any double-digit spree is incredible, and don't be surprised if when you're watching the top 10 top 5 plays, we're gonna see Asylum in there 100%. If he's not on there, I'm lodging formal complaints.
Yeah, he should be in there, but that's the worst part about it. You beat highlight player of the game or the week or whoever it is, and you lose the map, unfortunately, with 35 kills. I mean, very difficult task, because nobody was anywhere near close on the opposition side, but they all played it even across the board, kill wise, overload wise. They're all taken apart in their job role. Marshalls, they sneak that win surely under the noses of Midway, as we will be getting the reset into this Scar Hardpoint, this map that we've already mentioned before. Both teams have played it pretty well. Scar Hardpoint has been 5 maps played by Midway, 1 loss, 4 wins, 3 maps that Marshall have played. They've won every single one. So numbers both pretty good at Scar Hardpoint, but there's got to be one winner. Is it going to be the momentum that Marshalls have to take this one back-to-back hardpoints, back-to-back respawns, or are Midway going to take this to map 5 and take this victory here on Scar Hardpoint? We're about to find out as we roll on into that map. Here we go as things kick off action with the nades from the get-go. Stun and nades, they'll get the tags, they'll get the hell time, and come on, we'll get that first blood back and forward, 3 dead in the feed, go the way of Marshall.
Of course, P1, we saw last time, it was stupidly hard to get any points going, and eventually we saw, I think, 11 start to come out at the end of P1. Right now, a lot more is going in favor of Marshalls, but all while this happens, you gotta be looking ahead. You gotta be thinking 3 steps ahead. It's a game of chess here on Hardpoint. P2 is the next position, which Marshalls have still maintained that control, and they know that as soon as that timer gets to about this 15 and less, we gotta be rotating across.
holding, making sure that the spawns are still their side for P2. I don't know though if that favours being on this side, because I was playing a few games earlier today and I feel like being on that side you were just getting spawn trapped, and maybe that's what Midway Eagles are looking to do, but the early time will go towards Marshalls here on P2. The positions as you push up one, we'll get one before he's traded out. Actions will get the trade onto Asylum. Folk finds one, snaps onto a second, looks for him but can't get it done. Paralysis on a 5 streak and keeping things lighting up the way of Marshalls as they take a good strong early lead here for the first couple of hard points, and he's keeping his streak going as well. Paralysis finding his 6.
Keep it going. Get on the board. Get the streak killed. The streak's up to the max. I should stop speaking because every time I do, they end up dying. Paralysis taken down, and Marshall had beautiful control, but finally will lose it as the break comes through. Midway able to find themselves in a power position, but only for scrap time. The rotation, though, they capitalize, find themselves up north onto P3. It's such an awkward site to play on, P3. And I'd probably say about as bad as P1. You're going to not get a lot of points here.
Yeah, P3 is an absolute blood show as well. It's very difficult to kind of take any time here, but as you see, Marshalls, they get the break early. Paralysis once again on another streak. Did earn Hellstorm in that first set. We'll be able to use that at some point soon when need be, but he's absolutely gunning with that Fang. He's going to be able to use the Fang Elo site. No, but you know what? Strangely enough, Audio still don't favour that one, but Evoke, he's gone for the regular standard Elo site and he's finding kills as well. But Marshall's still a very closely contested game. 12 seconds difference. As the contest is in. Midway Eagles looking sore here over the playing side. They're trying to pull this back. Last bit of scrap time, but it's all about the rotation here now towards P4. He wins a gunfight in the back, you have an opportunity, but it's Paralysis that's in the back and he's shut you both down.
Playing spawns here. He understands that yes, he could have stepped on point, get the early time, but it's not going to help the team in the long run. Instead, he's playing Anki. He knows that if a kill comes off, he's got to make sure that his team are quick and there to arrive. Asylum left alive. He was able to pull off a 10 streak before, sorry, 11 streak, but he can't do it this time round. Right now, Marshalls, they're taking full control of anything that is relatively considered the right side of the map.
Seems to be working out for them so far. They've got a 20-point lead, but the break eventually goes in, more scrap time going their way, but that will make it almost even here as the new set of rotations will start to come in. Paralysis is winning the gunfight on the wraparound, so that's going to give them the early map coverage that they need down towards that motel side. They've got whole plain side covered, and they're going to get the early time in towards P5 with the gap only being 4 seconds before they take control of time.
Missed opportunities action will have to keep looking forward in case there is a repeat. ET will be the one to take that bait, and in doing so, action says thank you very much. Meanwhile, Paralysis on the back side of the map, keeping things on a cool, but this is a horrible spawn. Look at 2 of ET. He's going to come for the rear and take a full surprise and open the door just a step too far. Marshall, who had been controlling P5, has now allowed the doors to be opened up.
Yep, once again, getting that scrap time, keeping the game close. Indeed, for our first set of rotations. Actions finding 2, making it 5 in a row. And there we go. Orbital sliding on in. Scrap time maybe go their way. No, enough. ET can do anything about it. He's not going home anytime soon. Good coverage and a good final bit of time going their way. 16 points difference. Back to P1 we go. But Marshall's covering it once again. Early P1 time.
I feel like it's the same story we had before. Early on, Marshalls had the lead, and then Midway does as their name says. Midway through takes control of the situation, takes control of the game, and starts to creep back into the advantage as Action is putting on an actionful show. Someone said lights, someone said camera, and he did action.
He definitely came into action for sure there to try and get a few players off that spawn. Marshall was getting more time on P1 than they probably were expecting here, and they're going to have to think about positioning here as they push up towards that motel side. Quan, if he gets this shotty here, that could have been the game changer to get a good solid hold on P2. But Midway will still have that close spawn. They still have the opportunity to get there first. You only got one more player to deal with. Paralysis is there though. Quan shut down. It's all about player number 8, Orbitos. What can he do? Well, nothing, because he's shot in the back. That's because they're just going to find a second on towards action and now push forward onto the time.
Last time round, the team that was on that left side of the map, spawning left, massively had an advantage onto this P2 site. It seems like roles are reversed this time round. The aggressive push forward from Marshalls will grant them a bit more position as Orbitals will find a nade and a gun kill. And a pistol kill. He's going through the entirety of lethals that he has available. And Marshalls with a commanding lead, 170 coming on to 170 to 89. And it looks like we're getting close to the end game and where we could call game, set, and match also soon.
Exactly that. Marshall's doubling up the lead. Let's jump on board to see what they got to say about their come-homes as they head towards P3, looking to try and get that break on towards that Midway Eagle side.
On the heady, on the sim heady, on the sim heady.
I'm nading plane.
Goes heady, I'm one shot.
Really weak asylum, really weak mid-cut.
Plane, dusk, weak plane.
Alright, chill, get together.
Mid-cut's not shout. Yeah. Mid-cut just shout. One shot.
I'm nading plane again, I'm nading plane
Any
again.
time and then look. Oh, dust, half health on plane.
Not shouting mid-cut. I'm
Hey,
letting
good,
mid-cut.
good.
That's one.
Another.
Yeah, we...
Oh,
Mid-cut dead. Mid-cut dead.
Go, fly.
He's half health on the plane, man.
He's one shot.
Nice. Time.
One more,
I got
two, last
naded.
two, last
I
two.
got naded.
On the plane, alright.
We might flip.
No, we're good. But they're pushing
Mid!
up,
Mid, I promise. It could be.
Yeah. Yo, we're giving up the right lane,
Okay, I'll hold it. I'm helping.
Already through, two.
No,
I
in
think
time,
one
man.
more,
In time, man.
Probably dead.
Yeah, on new. We spawned out.
Yo, deep left. Deep left corner, fence.
Go
Deep
mid,
fence,
go mid.
asylum.
What's my one?
I just spawned there. Oh my gosh. Asylum's one shot. One's on close wood box. Close wood box. Nice, that's two. One's in the back.
Blue.
Close wood box.
Top right in time.
Yeah.
Top right's dead.
I blocked the back. I'm playing
I'm in the back.
Weak. I'm nice.
I'm blocking.
Front. Nanny got through front.
He's weak. Nice. Get out.
Hey, yo, bottom already. Blue. ET.
Dead.
Nice.
I get the right.
Bump me.
There's somebody on tank.
I kill him.
Two front P1.
Dead. Nice! I'm out.
Give it the back.
Yep.
Spawn here, so.
Red spawns.
I hear.
Make cut.
Top green.
Two more 18.
Top green. Dusk already. Dusk top green.
Dead.
Nice!
Wait, shut up! Nice, Quan.
Marshall's taken to almost within 30 seconds for this W, but they lost a lot of time on P3, giving Midway Eagles an opportunity to come back, but P4 was strong. Yes, they lost it early, but they still had to break on in with the real close spawns. Now, ET, what can they do? That's 4 dead. Midway Eagles need that.
Yeah, Midway take full control of the moneyest of money hills. Once you have back control over by Cafe, you're golden. You spawn in the corner, you quickly pull players in, and in doing so, the kills just keep on going. Midway could look at nearly a full 60 here. Dusk opens things up. He needs to find that second, has been cleared out by the rest of his team. And now we're back to rotation 3. And when you thought Newton was done and dusted, when we called that there's a potential game, set, and match on the line, Midway keep crawling back and want to go one map more.
Yeah, they get past the 100-point mark. So within 19 seconds, P1, we go back to Quan finding 2. Alberto's finds 1. You're surely going to use your Hellstorm at some point to close them down here to give you more time on towards P1. Speaking of which, I can hear it coming on in. Here comes that Hellstorm. But it is ET's Hellstorm, and it's not the one of Marshall's. They've not yet used that, surely. They'll look for the full control, but Marshall's in control of that time. Can finish it off completely. Quan finds 1, trades him back and forward. P1 going the way of Midway Eagles, but there you go. Paralysis eventually calls it in. going to push everybody off of P1, surely. That time will be given up, and there'll be a chance to get back on within 25 seconds. Marshalls can close out.
30 seconds, 32 to be precise, needed for Marshalls. Just a bit more if you're Midway, so it can't be done onto P1. Has to rotate to P2, but look who's already there. Action, waiting for the action to come towards him. He is able to find one at distance, and now the reinforcement starts to come through. 30 seconds left if you're Marshalls to get the job done. How about 20 seconds? 20 points is all that's needed, and it looks to be the slaughterhouse that Marshalls want to see. They just have a few more to go. 3 seconds left, and they can call this game, set, and match. It's Marshalls for the taking.
Orbitals all but called that game there by that 5 streak. In the end, he shut them all down, made sure nobody can even contest that time. Fantastic ending to what was a fantastic series, and it almost looked like it was going to be another one of them close maps once again. Midway taking time to get back into it, maybe a little bit too long to get back into it after giving a good lead towards Marshalls, but Marshalls will take control, they'll take the series. And what I said, 3-1 was the overall score. That's exactly how it all panned out, and funny enough, production had that on the screen prior to our going live. It was just, well, obviously when we're following on from the last series of the evening, but it was in the same order, and it's exactly the way it ended. Unfortunately, that was a strong spell between P4 and P1 in that final set of rotations for Midway Eagles, but they left it a little too late.
Marshalls remain undefeated in those hard points. They know what to do, they know where those pressure points are, and even when things get a little bit pressured, they start to crawl back. Action, 38 and 24 on his side with 29 non-traded kills. Hello! You can't allow that to happen.
I know, that and paralysis as well with 31 non-traded kills. They're just slaying around the map. They're doing their job. They're not getting the hill time. But you know what? When you're relying on Orbitals and Quan to do the job on the hill, you've got your 2 slayers in that map. Deco and Action doing a fantastic job. Asylum as well. Once again, he got to 40 kills. But unfortunately, on that losing side once again, it's just unfortunate that Asylum has just been bragging his way through the series, but just on a losing side. Marshall, Thunder and Herd have now taken 8 series in a row, no losses, a fantastic start to their college 26th season. Midway Eagles now taking their 3rd loss will change things in that standings for sure, as they will be more likely on that lower side. Hyper, what a game it was though, what a series it was, and to be fair, I feel like maps at any point in time could have went either way.
Yeah. I think the score lines that we saw today does represent the way both teams were playing. They were on top of things. They were able to tit and tat between each other. They found those common mistakes and exploited them. But critically, Marshalls just have the final edge, particularly on these hard points. They were able to find those spawns just a little bit quicker, and then when there was a breaking opportunity, they broke this point and then went deep, made sure those spawns better for themselves. Marshalls were just a little, I'd really say only a little bit better. I would love to see another rematch of Midway Eagles versus Marshall Thunders once again, because that would be another round of entertaining.
Yeah, very entertaining indeed. It's kept me awake for sure. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here across the pond. We've seen a fantastic series between these 2 sides, but now we'll be heading to what will be a short break. Hyperactive, it's been a fantastic series once again. 3-1. Going the way of Marshall, yet to be defeated. A team to keep an eye out in that top 25 that we so speak about in the college COD scene. One of the teams definitely to look out for the potential to take the full thing, as they'll be wanting to continue that unbeaten streak. We're going to have Seymour and Toxic up next for our casting duo. It's been a fantastic pleasure once again, Hyperactive, to be joined by yourself and to have a college podcast with you for the first time. So, any final words before we head ourselves off towards that short break?
Thank you all for inviting me and finally having me. And of course, when you bring the two best Brits over to the broadcast, it's going to be entertaining. And I'm kind of glad we had one of the most entertaining matches for a good while. A game that went the distance and kept me on edge throughout it all. But thank you all for watching, as there are still many more matches to come.
Yeah, definitely is, and that means we've got Texas State Esports up against UTSA Roadrunners up next. Once again, we'll see you very soon. Myself and Hyperactive, that's us for this evening. Hopefully we'll catch you very soon, but enjoy the rest of the action for the night. 2 more games to be had, and that's, like we said, the next one, Texas versus UTSA. We'll see you soon.